Okay, YouTubers, this is The Angry Prepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about how the war is already here. When I say war, guys, apparently we are watching some nonsense go down with the divisiveness, if you will, of the war in Israel, or rather the war between Israel and Hamas. With that, there has been such a divide around the world because of this. We are watching pro-Palestinian rallies pop up everywhere around the world. I can't believe in some of the places that we're watching it pop up. And I can't believe the amount of Muslims showing up to this. And in certain places, it was over 100,000, which was London. This is becoming very, very dangerous for us. And it's bringing the war here, but a different kind of war. A war, if you will, domestic. Because now we are fighting those who lived in that country, whether it was the United States, London, UK rather, sorry. They are now going to become combatants as we are watching them attack people, again, throughout these rallies. Now, here in the United States, we're seeing some big problems now. Now we're seeing ceasefires rallies, if I wouldn't call them pro-Palestinian, I would say ceasefire rallies, where people are taking over Grand Central Station and locking that down, or the Tundra in Washington, D.C., or the Capitol, rather, sorry, in D.C., and locking that down. Though everybody got arrested, still, we're watching these asinine rallies all over the place. We're watching pro-Palestinian rights rallies turn into violent altercations. They had the Black Hebrews, if I'm not mistaken. They were fighting with the Palestinians in Chicago. We had numerous rallies throughout the country turn violent where Palestinians, or Muslims, if you will, were beating up Jews. And this is where now it's becoming dangerous, because they are attacking Jewish people or people who stand with Israel because they want to. Now, what I'm going to say next is going to sound super racist, but fuck it. Don't give a shit. Muslims have a very, very big problem. I used to practice Islam a long time ago, probably 25 years ago, maybe. And I remember the one thing that I took out of the whole thing was that a lot of Muslims can be peaceful, but there are a lot of angry, I wouldn't even say radicalized, angry Muslims out there that are just looking to fight and spew their bullshit and spew their hate. Yes, in Islam, there is an abundant amount of hate within that religion on its own. Yes, you will run into certain Muslims who are peaceful, but it's seemingly very few these days. And there are more violent Muslims out there, as we are seeing in these rallies, where if you don't agree with them, they attack you. They are so angry, I guess, because they like to say and feel like they're marginalized when they're not. They are the largest, or one of the largest religious groups out there as far as people goes. Nonetheless, guys, we are watching these rallies get bigger and bigger, and they are increasingly becoming out of control. The cops can't do anything about it. In fact, it was Russia where they stormed an airport looking for Jews who were getting on a plane going to Israel. Suffice it to say that the airport security in that Russian airport was shit, because these people stormed it. They were pulling on doors, and I'm like, okay, the door's locked. They yanked it again, and the door popped open. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? What kind of security is that for a door? Not the point. The point is, guys, is that they're becoming increasingly more violent, and something needs to be done. Now, of course, I'm going to say this here. If you're Jewish, you better get strapped. You better get armed. You better do something, because this is going to end up on your doorstep tomorrow or a week from now. It is getting truly bad out there. And for anybody who stands with Israel, just be warned that if you're walking around with I Stand Israel t-shirt, just know that some shit can happen. Now, obviously, guys, for those of us who stand in the middle, if you see somebody get beat up, do the right thing and jump in if you can, or wait till they get their ass handed to them and then render aid. Now, if you're going to render aid, stay out of the mix. Don't get involved. But if it's an old lady or a Jewish kid or some shit like that, or just an old person getting beat up, I would suggest jumping in there, or at the very least trying to stop it. Because this is going to get horrendously bad. Now, I'm going to do another video on what to do if you get surrounded or you get stuck in the middle of a pro-Palestinian rally, or just a rally in general. Because these rallies, guys, are getting out of control. I mean, I've never seen anything get out of control so fast. I was surprised to see the black Jews, if you will, or black Israelites, or Hebrews, if you will, getting into the mix and fighting with Palestinians. I was like, holy shit, that was something to see. The crazy thing about and people disagree with the term, but just let it go. But the black Hebrews is that they fight. They're not scared. And a lot of them are armed. So this is going to get really interesting with that group of dudes and Palestinian rallies in a hurry. Now, the big thing, the big event coming up, I think it's going to be a big event anyway, is November 4th in Washington, D.C. There's a pro-Palestinian rally there. I can almost see people flying in to D.C. for this rally. Muslims, that is, and hopefully Jews. And this is going to be one hell of a rally if it turns out to be the rally I think it's going to turn out to be, which is going to be horrendous, because we're going to see how many pro-Palestinian people are there, rather how many Muslims are there. And Muslims, guys, they're letting us know without saying it that they're taking control. And this is where the fight is going to have to begin. Because I'd be damned if any religious group is going to sit there and pull that bullshit, whether it's Catholic, Muslims, Jew. You listen, let everybody be their own. But if you're going to start attacking people because you got the numbers now, because you cowards can't fight one-on-one, and believe me, I've been in enough scuffles with Muslims before with their bullshit. They're not the greatest fighters in the world. Most people are not. To straighten that record, most people are not great fighters. But they get into a group, they get that mob mentality, and now they want to fucking jump you. We're going to see a lot more egregious shit, guys. So you have two choices. You either get involved or you sit on the sideline and render aid when it's possible. So, guys, we are also seeing, like I said before, Jews get assaulted. But with the assaults are the name callings, of course, and the beatings that don't stop unless someone jumps in the middle of it, which is, one hit, two hit, a kick, and then leave it alone. These people are going to war with these people. So, again, jumping in is probably going to be the better thing to stop that ass whipping. The other thing we're starting to see, not starting to see, but we are seeing, are more swastikas pop up everywhere. You have Palestinians putting up swastikas as if, well, Hitler was actually working with Saudi Arabia or Arabs or Muslims at some point during World War II to have an alliance with them because they both hated Jews. So there was that. But nonetheless, you got Palestinians writing up swastikas everywhere, and then you have Palestinians or Muslims writing or tagging up walls that say kill Jews. And you're seeing that all over the world. And whatever language it's in, you're seeing it all over the world. This is becoming a problem, guys, because it's not going to stop with the Jews. Everybody thinks it's just a Jewish thing. It is not. The Muslim world wants to get rid of Jews, Christianity, and any other religion that is not theirs. They have said it multiple times throughout my lifetime. I've heard different Muslim dudes say this shit, that there should be only one religion, and that's Muslim or Islam, and that the only God is Allah. This is what they keep saying, this is what they keep repeating, and this is where we are now, because we're hearing more of that rhetoric as we go. There was a guy in Times Square a couple of weeks ago, the day before I did my live stream there, or maybe it was the day before. It was that week that a guy was there saying that we need to get rid of all religions and only have one. These people seem to think Islam is the only religion to have. This is a problem, guys, because it's going to grow as we are seeing these rallies grow. That mindset's going to grow, that ideology is going to grow, and then we're going to have a problem. Now, I know a lot of people are like, I'm ready, I'm locked and loaded. Yo, it might get to that point. It might get to that point sooner or later. Because I was watching a couple of years ago how the Saudi Arabians were buying up shit. Muslims are buying up land as well, and people are only focused on China, but they're buying up a lot of land because they're trying to build mosques all over the place. So keep that in mind, guys. They erect a mosque, they take over the area. It's a little more complex than that, but that's the gist of it. Anyway, guys, just keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you don't end up in the middle of a rally by accident. Keep your ear to the ground. Stay glued to the news. Go on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now, or Instagram, and look for rallies coming up in your area. Undoubtedly, if you live in a big city, you're going to see rallies. Apparently, there's a rally a night here in New York, and I missed them all. But I'm only focused on the next. There's going to be another big one here in New York. I got to find out the date on that. But the big one's going to be November 4th down in Times Square. I think it might not get out of hand unless all the Jews in the United States show up. And if they do, it's going to be a shit show. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.